Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this? Because I know I am. Got $5 and want to play some Magic the Gathering? Well, if I got some ideas for you, this is $5 Deck Tech! That's right, $5 Deck Tech, folks. $5 Deck Tech. And this time, we're going to make it a little spicy. It was supposed to be mono red, and this is part of the original 5 that gave me this idea. But unfortunately, when I went to price out mono red late last night, early this morning, there was a spike in mono red. So I have to completely reconstruct the entire deck. I had it based around Mardu Swisspear and 2 Phoenix Chicks, and everything else was just kind of like playing off of it. But even the insular cards spiked in value. Like cards that were like 2 cents when I did the deck are now like 15 cents, and it threw off the entire budget. Same thing happened here with Mardu Midrange, but I was able to make some halfway decent adjustments to make sure that this deck could actually survive. We did have to cut 4 cards and then replace them with a couple more. And in testing last night, early this morning as well, it worked. So we start off on the creature side of things with the newest edition, 2 Ambitious Farmhands. 1 and a white for a creature, human peasant for a 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic plains card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. It's also got Coven, 1 and 2 white, transform Ambitious Farmhand. Activate only if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers. This can happen from time to time, and when it does flip, it turns into a 3/3 human knight with lifelink. This is actually the replacement for Spirited Companion, which was a brutal hit, but I couldn't afford $1 for 2 cards in this deck. Then we have Phyrexian Missionary. We only play 1 copy of it. It's 1 and white for a Phyrexian human cleric with kicker 1 and black. It's a 2/3 with lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target creature card from our graveyard to our hand. One of the few ways we get to cycle cards. Before I forget, Ambitious Farmhand is 8 cents a card. Phyrexian Missionary is 10 cents a card. If you don't know how I do it, I actually look at TCGPlayer prices, and these are all valid as of March 2nd, 2023 at noon at this point. And basically, I look through a lot of pages. I'm not looking at the top few listings. I'm actually like trying to figure out where the true baseline for a budget deck would be. And if you only need 1 copy of Phyrexian Missionary, you can get it cheaper. But, I'm at least making sure when it came to Missionary, there's a bunch at 10 cents a piece. And there's a couple that are like 8 cents and 7 cents and 9 cents. But on average, you're going to get a Phyrexian Missionary for 10 cents. We play an entire playset of Sky Crier for 1 and a white for a creature bird citizen with a 1/1 flying and lifelink. 3 and white, you and target opponent draw a card. This was a concession to make because we couldn't originally play a whole playset of Spirited Companions. We can only do 2. Then they spiked in value, so now we have to play 4 Sky Criers. And even then, Sky Criers jumped in price a bit. They were originally 3 cents when I made the deck. Now they're 5 cents a piece. And then 4 copies, a whole playset of Scrapwork Mutt. Artifact for 2 for an artifact creature dog for a 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. It's also got Unearth for 1 and a red. When it unearths, we get it. When it's in the graveyard, we can pay its unearth cost, bring it out to the battlefield, has haste, and we have to exile it at the end of combat. But Scrapwork Mutt is also another concession we made to Spirited Companion, but it's still a great card. One of the linchpins of the deck, Bloodtithe Harvester for a red and a black creature vampire for a 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, create a blood token. Tap it and sack Bloodtithe Harvester. Target creature gets -X/-X till end of turn, where X is twice the number of blood tokens you control. Activate only as a sorcery. We are playing 3 of these. They're 10 cents a piece, along with Scrapwork Mutt being 20 cents a piece. It's one of the more expensive cards we have to play in the set, but we need a lot of card draw besides Sky Crier. Bloodtithe Harvester. And then our last creature that we play 2 Archangels of Wrath for 2 white for 3/4 flying lifelink creature angel, an angel creature with kicker black and kicker red. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it deals 2 damage to any target. When Archangel of Wrath enters the battlefield, if it was kicked twice, it deals 2 damage to any target. So basically, if you pay the full kick cost, which is two white, a black, and a red, you get to do 2 damage to two targets, to any target. That could be a player, that could be 2 creatures, that could be 1 creature. It's also got lifelink, so you're already gaining 4 life. So it is a powerfully potent card, and what makes the deck kind of work. And I'm surprised that it's still rocking at 40 cents of value. And we play 2 of them. And now we go into the spells. The spell slots have changed a little bit as well. We play a full play set of Duresses. You have to when you're talking this micro budget, $5 and under, in black Duress. That's easy for slots to fill. We're playing a play set of them at 4 cents a piece. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. That player discards that card. We play 4 copies of Incriminate for 1 and a black for a sorcery. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by the same player. That player sacrifices 1 of them. When it comes to removal packages, because we have such expensive cards in the creatures, we have to, once again, when you're doing this micro budget stuff, make concessions. And Incriminate isn't a bad removal. Your opponent needs to have 2 creatures on the field for it to work. You can't cast it if they only have 1. Incriminate is a penny. So yeah, we're playing a playset of those. Rite of Oblivion. We play 1 copy of this for white-black sorcery. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a non-land permanent to exile a target non-land permanent with flashback to white and black. Flashback, you may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost and exile it. But once again, when it comes to removal, the actual Mardu Midrange that this deck was based off of does play a copy of Rite of Oblivion. And then we kind of mix it up a little bit with Oni-Cult Anvil. Rite of Oblivion is also a quarter a piece. Oni-Cult Anvil for black and a red for an artifact. When 1 or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token. This ability only triggers once each turn. This is basically once during your turn. If an artifact leaves the play, make a 1/1. You can tap it and sack an artifact to deal 1 damage to any opponent and you gain 1 life. We are playing 2 of these. These are 25 cents a piece as well. And this kind of makes the deck churn into almost an Oni-Cult Anvil, not so much mid-rangey thing, but we need Oni-Cult Anvils in this deck in conjunction with Bloodtithe Harvesters. We used to play 3 copies of Gruesome Realization until they spiked. And I'll tell you, and they spiked to 10 cents as opposed to a nickel. A nickel. Also, Oni-Cult Anvil is 25 cents a piece as well, if I didn't say it before. Gruesome Realization for a sorcery, 1 black. We get to choose 1. Draw 2 cards and lose 2 life, or creatures our opponent controls get -1/-1 until end of turn. This was originally a 5-cent card. We were playing 3 of them, and then they increased to 10 cents, and it took it out of the budget. So now we only play 2, but it's still a good 2. This is basically might protection, along with mono red creature swarm, fast, aggressive 1/1s. We can basically board wipe our opponents with this card. Or if they're playing bigger creatures, we can always just draw 2, lose 2. Then we play the hero of the day, I feel, Hurloon Battle Hymn for 2 and a red for an instant with kicker, 1 white mana. Deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If this spell was kicked, you gain 4 life. We're already playing Mardu, so we might as well throw the Battle Hymns in there. And we're playing a whole playset of Battle Hymns because they're 2 cents a piece. We got 1 copy in the main of Moonrager Slash. It's 5 cents a piece. The spell costs 2 less to cast if it's night, and it deals 3 damage to any target. Normally, we're casting this for 3 anyway, but the good removal packages, like in red, are too expensive. even in the common and uncommon slots. Heck, Lightning Strike is 10 cents a piece, and we were originally playing 2 of them, and then all the other cards just kind of spiked around it. So we had to make concessions, and Moonrager Slash, 1 in the main, it's pretty good. We're playing 2 copies of Honored Heirloom. It's a 3-drop artifact to tap to add 1 mana of any color. You'll see why when it comes to the mana base that you've already seen while we're playing this card. But it's also got a weird 2 and tap to exile target card from a graveyard. This has actually saved my butt in testing a couple of times. I couldn't believe how actually viable that second line of text, that second ability for Honored Heirloom is. And Honored Heirloom is 8 cents a card. We are playing 2 copies of it. Then we play 1 copy of Gix's Command, 3 black for a sorcery. Choose 2. Put 2+1/+1 counters on up to 1 creature. It gains lifelink till end of turn. Destroy each creature at power 2 or less. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest power amongst creatures they control. Gix's Command is a utility card. You're getting 2 of these options. You're either board wiping, if it's power 2 or less, it pumping one of your guys up, and then I've done it before where I pumped a 2 power creature up to 4, and then killed everything else on the field that was 2, and that lifelink is no joke. We can return cards from graveyard to your hand because we don't play that many creatures, but this is a very great card in this deck, and it is going for 50 cents a piece. But also, I think the deck that this was based off of is only playing 2 of them as well, but we can only afford 1. And then the sideboard. We are playing 4 copies of Fierce Retribution, 1 in a white for an instant, destroy target attacking creature. It's got Cleave, 5 in a white, so we can cast it for 6, and to remove the parenthesized, the bracketed word, to basically say destroy target creature. We're playing 4 copies of them because they are 2 cents a piece. We are playing 2 copies of Abandon the Post, once again, one of my favorite sideboard cards. Up to 2 target creatures can't block this turn. And it's got flashback 3 in a red. This is a sorcery. Basically, you have to play it pre-combat. If they have big, dumb creatures and you need to get through, this helps so much. But also when it comes to working on a budget, very micro budget, this does help because they are a penny a piece. We are playing 2 copies of Excavation Explosion in the side. Deals 3 damage to any target. Create a tapped Power Stone token. It's 2 in a red. You can make an argument that this should be in the main instead of Moonrager Slash, but in my playtesting, I felt the 1 copy in the main of Moonrager Slash has done more work, if you want to say, and also Excavation Explosion helps if we're playing against bigger creatures other than the weenie decks, or 1/1 tokens or the mites. It doesn't really activate either because the Power Stones only do non-artifact spells. Then we are playing 3 copies of Life of Toshiro Umezawa. It is a saga creature. When it's the saga, as it comes out first for 1 in a black, its first 2 steps, target creature gets +2/+2 till end of turn, or target creature gets -1/-1 till end of turn, or you gain 2 life. Then, when it hits 3, we exile and return it to the battlefield. Under our control for a 2/3 creature with tap, pay 1 life to add a black mana, spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell. This is early creature removal, especially in the Mite decks or the Toxic decks, the ones that are small little 1/1s that eventually overswarm you. In the side, we also play 2 copies of Moonrager Slash. Once again, Life of Toshiro Umezawa is 3 cents a piece. Moonrager Slash, playing 2 in the side because we have to. And then finally the sideboard, we are playing 2 copies of Extinguish the Light. Moonrager Slash is also 5 cents a piece. Extinguish the Light, for 2 black for an instant, destroy target creature or planeswalker. If its mana value is 3 or less, we gain 3 life. We are playing 2 copies of it. It is 2 cents a copy. And this is basically planeswalker hate that has more loyalty than 4 to start with, and also big creatures that we have no way of dealing with in this deck. And that is a sideboard for Mardu micro budget. The actual deck cost for this deck is now $4.73. You could make an argument to put like one of the Bloodfell Caves or one of the Gain Life Come to Play tap lands in the mana base, but I don't know really if you can do that. In the mana base, in the main, we're playing 7 plains, 7 mountains, and 9 swamps. I felt that was a really good number. If you want to do 2 lands that you have that you can afford it upgrade-wise, I would get rid of the 2 swamps and put in either a Boros coming to play tap land and a Rakdos coming to play tap land. So yeah, there is the deck right there. Now, we're going to show you how this deck performs in a best of 3. Like we always do on these $5 deck techs. In real time, I might add. I don't have the MTGO, but before I had to make the concessions, the deck on Magic the Gathering Online was 98 cents. So I'm assuming it's a little less expensive on Magic the Gathering Online. Which is shocking to me that that deck is less than $1 online. We got to mulligan that. Alright, and we got to keep this now. And we are so far away from an Archangel that we have to. We have a Duress, though. It's not the best start. Our deck, that's a Taurus Proving Ground, is more expensive than the rest of our deck. Facts. And we're going to see how we can. Edict, Tyvar Stand, Terra Sunder. I'm going to get rid of the Terra Sunder because we have another Duress in hand. Greeters. Unfortunately, it's a second Duress. And this time we get rid of Tyvar Stand because we're about to Hurloon battle him, the Golem Readers. Because all they have is 2 Edicts in hand. And if it's a land, we're kind of in good shape. No, oof. Alright, I think we're all out of tricks here. Because they have 2 pieces of removal in hand. We can't even do that. Crap. I'm hoping they get a land. If they get a land, which I think they did, we might still be in this. We've officially gotten out of this. Quick concede, as I said, in best of 3, you are on a clock, especially if you're on paper. The whole intent of these decks is to go to Magic, to your local gaming store to play FNM with this deck. We know they're on the Galagreators. What doesn't work in here? I think the Battle Hymn actually worked pretty good. But we'll take one of them out. I think we take out a Duress. We'll take out 2 Duresses. We'll put in Life of Toshiro Umezawa. And I think we should put in 2 Extinguish the Lights. So we'll get rid of an Honored Heirloom and then put in another Extinguish. I don't know if this deck is now, if this deck they're playing now plays Planeswalkers. This is where I would have loved to have had 3 Gruesome Realizations in hand. Oh. You know, sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work. I know I wasn't hoping for a Duress in hand. It was just... Do we get rid of their Duress? Yes, we do. And we are so far behind. I mean, they kept a great 3-lander that they're gonna delete. I think we just have them tear asunder the Ambitious Farmhand. And we're gonna take that action to look for our planes. Now, mind you, we had to start from a mull to 5. Mulligan to 5. Okay, I think we just activate the Gruesome Realization now to at least show you what the deck wants to do, because we ain't winning this. And there we go. Now, we can do this. We can Scrapwork Mutt. We'll get rid of the swamp. Draw a card. Yeah, it's another Scrapwork Mutt. That's going to put the pressure on them to use the Terror Sunder against our Ambitious Farmhand, but they do Glissa instead. Interesting. And Auto Tapper auto taps. I know we... Alright, well... Alright, we're doing another game, because that was bogus. That was completely bogus. Mardu. Micro budget, $4.78 on paper from TCGPlayer as of March 2nd. On Magic the Gathering Online, less than $1. Less than $1. It's probably the cheapest deck that I've done so far on Magic the Gathering Online. Alright, I like this because we have Duress into Scrapwork, hopefully into Archangel. And that is a really sus keep by them for the Thalia of all things. It's just Thalia. They play the Thalia, so I'm actually just going to get rid of the Gix's command. There's no point, because this next turn is going to be Thalia, and that Gix's command turns into a 6-drop? Yeah. And I think they know what we want. Oh, we can't unearth it. End turn. Yeah. That was a misplay on me. I forgot Thalia has first strike. And also forgot. It was going to get Brutal Cathart anyway. There's the red. So I'm going to hold off on the Archangel here. Get rid of an eye. I think we can also Scrapwork Mutt and get rid of a mountain. Just to get a swamp. I mean, we're going to Archangel. It's not going to be full kick, though. So we can wait a turn or two to full kick it. And they're just holding their Ijanos. That's got first strike. I can't take the damage. Don't know why they're holding on to Ijanos. I don't know what they could possibly think that they could play here. Because there is no reason for this delay. I have no trick up my sleeve. I do have a Bloodtithe Harvester. That we can sack, kill the veteran. So basically, we're going to take a lot of damage, but we're going to gain a lot of that back with the a fully kicked Archangel. 6, 7, 8. And I don't think they have a pump. Do not think they have a pump. I don't think they have a pump in hand. Alright. 5 more. Down at 7. I don't even think they have a counter spell either. That just confirms it. Have another Thalia. Ugh. Alright, so we are going to full kick this. Recruitment Officer, Valiant Veteran. Bloodtithe Harvest, the Thalia. That is a heck of a turn. We bring Thalia back and the Recruitment Officer back. So they only they have 2 lands in hand now. They don't have anything that flies. They have an Ajano in hand. Ah! Let's see if we pick up something nice. Phyrexian Missionary that we get to kick. Alright, we got lucky on that one. No! Damn it. I was gonna Phyrexian Missionary. That's okay. Thalia's got first strike. They only have a Jano. It costs 2 less to target attacking or blocking creature. So we have to take all this damage. We go down to 2. Not what I was hoping for. 2 and 2. That would be 4. 2 and 2 is 4. We have to kick the Archangel back. Do that. Kill that. Kill that. John, we gotta kill the Moonrager into 3. Yeah, nah, we weren't gonna get there. We weren't gonna get there. That was a misplay on me. That kind of cost me a little bit. So they're playing whatever. What were they just playing? Oh yeah, soldier shenanigans. Duresses don't work. Duresses not working. Fierce Retributions will. Do we Life of Toshiro Umezawa? think we get rid of 2 Incriminates for 2 Toshiros. Thalia wrecked us that game, though. I think the deck proved that it can hold. It's just the pilot, which is me, makes misplays all the time. Or, you know, we... Not even going to talk about it. I'm not even going to talk about it. That's just disgusting. Let me guess. Thalia. Lay down arms. Okay, that's a weird flex. I think it's just Life of Toshiro Umezawa. Just kick the Bloodtithe Harvester up a little notch. Finally did some damage to our opponent. Meaningful damage. And worst case, we can always crack the blood to disc... Okay. They're the ones who got stuck with a worse hand. I think we ship it right back as is. And they did as well. Alright. I can see why they conceded. Once again, no problem in quick conceding, especially if you know you don't have it. Especially on paper. You only get 50 minutes to play all 3 of your matches. And the worst thing you can do is draw. I mean, besides losing. But drawing is never really good either. Resolute Reinforcements. So this Gruesome Realization is going to be really sweet in hand. Gruesome Realization is pretty nice. Had to get the Oni-Cult out just in case Thalia comes to play. Sky Strike Officer. It's going to get... We're going to Hurloon battle him that. Fun enough, though, they are playing the first deck in this series that we made. They're playing the full Monty, the full budget, the not budget version of this deck. And also with Oni-Cult Anvil, that's another reason why Excavation Explosion's in there. Should actually put those in the main. Anyway, ooh, that is a Siege Veteran that we have to get rid of as soon as humanly possible. So hopefully we get a land. Because right now we are blissfully hurting. They're not expecting the Incriminate either. No one does. No one expects micro-budget stuff. Nobody. I don't care who you are, you're not expecting the micro-budget stuff. If it's a land, it's not a land. I was really hoping for a land. But we can at least get rid of the 2/2. So we don't get hit for 6. We're going to get hit with 4 next turn. I'm not sacrificing that to itself. Now, if we had another land, we could have Honored Heirloom and then done that and then get the Oni-Cult Anvil train going, but we didn't. That's a mirror. That's okay. I think. That's okay. I'm just gonna... That mirror... This is worth more than 6 or 7 of these decks that I've used. That mirror is like a $30, $40 card right now. And I should have picked them up when they were like $10 a pop. Because I wanted to make this in standard. But now I can't. Because mirror roll is too expensive, along with the Sky Strike officers. Yay, we finally got another land way too late. We could do this. Then we could target non-land permanent. Sack a non-land permanent, which would be the Honored Heirloom. Alright. That was a thing. This is even worse now. I mean, they've got stick-to-itness. They got some moxie, these decks that I make. And remember, this isn't to say, hey, you're going to go to a pro tour, you're going to win out these awesome events with these decks. No, this is just an introductory version just to get back into standard and not have to spend $200-300 on a deck. Spend $5. That's less than a BK value meal. You get to do this trick. Heck, depending on where you go, you can get 2 of these decks for the same price as a combo number 9. Gruesome Realization doesn't work. Scrapwork Mutt will. Alright, we just need to survive this coming turn. And then we get Archangel. And because they've gotten the Pain Train rolling with the Valiant Veteran and the Sea, that's 9. What do I do? What do I do? Gaining 3, going up to 14, going back down to 5, going up to 9 next turn if they don't have that counter. Because remember, Protected Negotiators, they definitely probably have 2 of them. I don't agree with Laydown Arms as a viable removal spell. It's good, but it's so restricted. You can't play duels, just about. You have to play Moonrager Slash. But we gotta try this. That's the best that we can do. Siege Veteran is still going to give the reinforcements plus 1/+1. We're almost dead here. Almost. Yeah, they're just going to put it on the reinforcements. Unless they have a pump, but I don't think they do. Alright, so we need a creature on top of that Moonragers. I say in good game. I say in good game like that. I didn't hear no bell. I didn't hear no bell. Unless they have a Jono in hand. Yeah. Prick. I hate people like that. Hey, good game. Basically, your avatar screams, I want to speak to your manager. That's all I'm saying. That being said, though, as you can see, the deck has some potency to it. I mean, honest truth, like, for an under $5 deck, it can hold its own. It's not, I'll be honest, that green-white deck, that deck punches up in its weight class like I wouldn't believe. But Mardu Midrange, missing tons of key pieces in the actual brew, but for what we've been able to compile for $4.70 cents, it's not bad. We didn't win either of those games, but you know, we were really close to getting there. My name's Dom Douglas. This has been a Magic the Gathering $5 deck tech, and may your top deck always be mythic. As I try to... Couldn't do it.